Moving on, item number 8 is Resolution 20-128, bid award for Eagle Drive drainage improvements. Ms. Meyer.
A resolution of the City of Panama City Beach, Florida, approving an agreement with GAC Contractors, Inc. for the Eagle Drive Drainage Improvement Project in the basic amount of $96,500.
Thank you. This item number 8 is open for public comment. Is there any public comment? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bernie Thompson. And as you know, I normally keep my focus on politicians who use their position to intimidate or bully others. I'm grateful that we don't have that anymore, so thank you very much. I also keep a close eye on what I consider to be conflicts of interest, and I just wanted to address a couple of them with you very quickly. We know just 2 days ago a county commissioner was arrested, Keith Baker, and charged with fraud and bid tampering. And I'm actually expecting more arrests very soon. I know that the big investigation, they're keeping a close eye on elected officials, city attorneys, and city managers. Today, though, I am most concerned about the identity of the engineer of record on this project. And his letter can be found on page 229 of the agenda packet. County Commissioner Robert Carroll and most of you were supported and funded by Derwin White, who is the president of GAC Contracting, to win this award today. And he also pays for the extensive candidate polling and other things that help propel you to office. The city has interlocal agreements with the county. The project benefits the neighborhood in which 2 of you live. Amendment 12 of the Florida Constitution prohibits elected officials from lobbying on behalf of private companies. That's Amendment 12. All of this, I feel, is just way too much. Commissioner Robert Carroll has no business doing business with the City of Panama City Beach as the engineer of record. And I'm disappointed to see that he is. So if you would please let me know who hired Robert Carroll, Commissioner Robert Carroll, as the engineer of record, and how much was he paid for those services? I think these are important to know. I'm not opposed to the project itself. And that's between you and the voters. I don't get in between that. But if Robert Carroll, the commissioner, was not the engineer of record by the city, if it didn't appear as though Commissioner Robert Carroll was lobbying you to make a vote, as we can see on page 229 of the agenda packet, I would not be addressing this. That's my issue. I just want to make sure that there's clarity on that. And I do believe that a yes vote today would most certainly warrant an ethics complaint and a tip to investigators about public corruption in Bay County. And please don't bring that kind of scrutiny to this new and improved city council. I hope that you'll look at it closely and take it seriously. It really doesn't look good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments regarding item number 8? Or should Ms. Jenkins, will you please step up?
Yes, just for clarification, we have all of our engineers of record make a recommendation in the bidding process. So they have to, and it's always been the process that we use the lowest bid. There were 5 bidders. GAC was the lowest bidder. They ranged from $96,000 to $170-some thousand, and so we want to save money. That's, we look at it too. It's just not the engineer of record. The RFQ was put out a long time ago, and we rotate services. I don't have the cost that this one in particular was paid, but I do know that this area has been on the list since 2007, and so it's been identified for a very long time. It wasn't necessarily a home immediate flood threat, it's more nuisance flooding, so it went down on the list, and that's why it hasn't been taken care of until now. So
I can confirm for Kelly and for y'all that McNeil Carroll Engineering was hired by the city for professional stormwater engineering services, I believe with one other firm as well, in December of 2013. The task order for this particular Eagle Drive drainage project was approved by the council for McNeil to design in March of 19 by resolution that came before the council.
Okay.
All right.
Any other discussion regarding item number 8?
Mrs. Myers, does Commissioner Carroll have a conflict, in your opinion, on doing work for the city?
No, not in my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
This work was competitively bid, and he competitively won the contract back then. It is my recollection, although I don't have the contracts in front of me, that we awarded 2 firms contracts for professional stormwater engineering, and his was one of the 2 firms.
So we're not doing anything illegally hiring his firm either, then?
No, sir.
Thank you.
I love that, just like the previous item, that the lowest bid is what's awarded. I think that's what we have to look at as a city, when we look at the dollars and cents. To me, that's the part that drives all of it. And again, like any contractor, multiple bids, and I don't care who the contractor is. Like with all projects moving forward, I think everyone's heard me state it, whether it was in the campaign or it's now, we're gonna hold contractors accountable. And it's time to make sure our timelines are hit and our dollars and cents are hit. So to me, it's the lowest bidder.
Ms. Jenkins, this is a similar project that was across the street at Bidaway. That was completed last year. But the one across the street, there were actually homes were flooding.
Correct,
there.
yes,
Okay,
that
but it
is similar, but this never really made it to inside the homes.
Right.
But yeah, very similar. So we had CDM, a different firm, was the one that made these different recommendations back in 2007. They're no longer our engineer, but.
Right.
that's who did it.
Ms. Jenkins, in this project, is there any indication that there would ever be a change order on this?
I can't guarantee that because we're digging, and so you could have that. I didn't put any contingency in here for a change order, so we'd come back to you if we needed to.
So as it stands, this should be sufficient to take care of it?
That's our expectation. If we run into something when we're digging it up that was unforeseen, it could happen.
And you didn't have any reason to disqualify the low bidder on this project?
No.
Thank you.
They all met, they were all responsive. It was just off the low bid.
Ms. Myers, as far as myself and the mayor, we do live in Colony Club. This is up front. And I do know the water drainage because I do get the phone calls, and hopefully this will eliminate me getting my phone calls and emails and
I've gotten phone calls.
running down there because
And I don't even live near
the
there.
drains are stopped up, and I'm out there and I'm pouring down deluge, unstopping drains, which I don't mind at all. But this water does run in a different direction. It doesn't affect myself nor the mayor.
The fact that this project is occurring in your neighborhood does not present a conflict of
Right,
interest.
right.
You are benefiting the same way as every other resident of that neighborhood.
Otherwise, you would not be able to represent your ward
Yeah,
ever
exactly.
on
Right.
anything.
Right. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Any other comments, discussion? $2128's open for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Smith, please call the roll.
Councilman Jarman?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Chester?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman McConnell?
yes, ma'am.
Mayor Sheldon?
Yes, ma'am. Moving on, item number 9 is wastewater,